Good morning, everybody. It still is. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, and welcome to this new video on Blur. Wanted to do a quick video on that. I've been following this. I mean, Blur has been. It's been one of the cryptos that's actually holding up fairly well. I mean, it's still been at these levels. We got a good recovery on Tuesday. Got a bullish breakout. Also, I mean, the price is basically still, well, not anymore, but it was still at the same support it was at when markets were still more bullish. So Blur has been fine. I mean, there's multiple reasons for that. I mean, I always think that Blur, well, to a certain extent, is a bit manipulated, but that doesn't matter. I mean, if you look at where the volume is coming from, it's always a bit of a weird distribution. But like I said, that doesn't matter. There's also other reasons to be bullish on Blur. I mean, it's very much in the airdrop narrative, which is still quite hot. Like a coin like TIA is holding up fairly well as well, especially given the rise that it had. And Blur itself, I mean, it's doing fine. And purely technically, if we look at all of the numbers, which I always like to do, open interest over the last week has been fine as well. I mean, you can see that after that recovery on Tuesday, open interest went up, and now that is dropping. So I do think in general, if you look at the general circumstances for Blur here, I do think it's most likely that we'll actually drop down a bit. The CVD is dropping down. Open interest, like I said, is dropping down here as well, and it doesn't look that likely that that will recover. I do want to look in the middle of this video where most of the liquidity is for Blur, because that is usually quite interesting. Yeah, most of the liquidity will zoom out, but no, the general direction for Blur right now is sideways. All right, there's reasons to be bullish on Blur, like the past performance and the recovery on Tuesday. But if you purely take a look at the technicals, I mean, the EMAs are practically flat, which means the average price is flat, which means we're moving up and down along that price. The EMAs are not that flat yet, but I do think, especially given the market circumstances right now, it feels like Bitcoin is falling flat a bit as well. Volume is dropping down. There's not a lot of movement in general. So that, in combination with the open interest, for example, for Blur, and the liquidity, it feels most likely that Blur will consolidate as well. So then, if you assume that we're in a consolidation, the main question is what's next then, all right? And I think most likely we're actually dropping down now. I mean, like I said, open interest on the short term is actually dropping down a bit. We just came from a major resistance level right here around 66 cents. We dropped down below the EMAs here, which you cannot really trust, but it does seem most likely that we'll actually continue this bearish momentum we have gotten going on right here, at least down to this level right here at 57 cents. Now, will I trade this? Probably not. I've thought about it, but right now, I mean, if you were to trade this, you'd probably have to have a stop loss like this, and the risk reward just isn't worth it in my eyes. Maybe some sort of a scalp is possible, but no. So yeah, I mean, if you zoom out even more, I mean, there's not a lot of liquidity around Blur, which most of the liquidity is around 0.6. So I do think it's most likely will drop down there. But if you zoom out, I mean, there's also still a lot of liquidity at 73 cents. So that would suggest that that's a possibility. So just in general, Blur, I would actually say it's one of the cryptos you should watch. All right, because I think it's most likely short on the short term that will drop down lower. So down to 57 and 55 cents, this main support there, right here. But I do think that will hold. And from there, if the open interest starts increasing again, or which is probably easier for you to follow, if the volume starts increasing again, then from that support level, Blur can actually rally up much higher towards 73 cents again. So short term, I'm bearish. Longer term, I think there's a possibility for bullish momentum. It's not confirmed because, like I said, volume and open interest do need to go up. If Blur drops down to support here and Bitcoin starts being bearish as well, Blur will just fall through the support and start dropping down towards 45 cents. Almost had to sneeze. I tried to keep it in, but we've reached the end of the video. That's what I think for now. If you do have any questions, of course, let me know down in the comments. There you can also find more info on my premium and signal group. That's up to you. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.